Babu Owino, the Embakasi East MP, has a message to the president telling him that the direction he's taking towards running this country is completely wrong, and that his persistent culture of lies and unfulfilled promises is steering this country into a shithole. Let us listen in to what Babu Owino got to tell William Samoei Ruto.
Fellow Kenyans, this message is directed to Mr. President William Samoei Ruto. I want to tell you, Mr. President, that the direction that you are taking is completely wrong. When you are campaigning, you knew that Kenyans are Kenyans, and you also knew that Kenyans are hustlers. Right now you've forgotten, and you are calling Kenyans mapepo. I want to tell you that Kenyans are not mapepo. It is you who has this culture ya kupinga kila kitu, as you put it. It is you ambaye alipinga the constitution that was promulgated in 2010. Ni wewe ndiye ulipinga BBI. Ni wewe ndio mapepo yalikuweka upinge Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Kwa hivyo wewe ndiye ulifundisha wa Kenya jinsi ya kupinga vitu. Sasa hizi wa Kenya wanapinga vitu kwa sababu wana shida. Kenyans are experiencing different challenges ranging from overtaxation, high cost of living, unemployment, and other various challenges. Right now you brought us she and sha, meant to destroy the lives of Kenyans, meant to reduce their disposable income further without increasing their salaries. You've decided that our brothers and sisters at the university will not clear their education by coming up with a new funding model that is meant to kill education system in this country. Mr. President, take your time during this December holiday and reason. As we always say, the people surrounding you, you know that they don't have brains, and you know that they speak without thinking, and you know that they are not the right people to advise you. Therefore, make sure that you manage this country, because in the foreseeable future we are going to take over this country, and we want a country that is productive. We don't want a country that shall have been destroyed by you.
Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, one of the candidates running for the AUC chairperson seat alongside Raila Amolo Odinga from Kenya and one other candidate. Now, Mohamed Yusuf yesterday got his opportunity to speak on how he's gonna transform or help Africa. Now, Mahmoud expressed good knowledge of the African Union Commission as compared to other candidates. Now, take your time and listen to how he contemplates and through eloquency outlines his points.
The champion for those reforms was His Excellency President Kagame, and he passed the responsibility to President Ruto. Now, there are a number of reforms that have already been implemented. We have to recognize that. The size of the commission, we had 10 commissioners, chairperson, deputy chairperson, and 8 commissioners, and it has been reduced. We have what we call a golden rule in terms of managing the staff and the personnel. I'm still waiting for the SACA program to be implemented. I hope that this hot potato will not wait for us, one of us, when we'll be elected. But I hope that the SACA process will be implemented. It is about the personnel, the staff. We have moved from a lot of short contract employees to a permanent contract. That's very important. If you want to create loyalty, you want to create the ownership within your staff and personnel, you have to make them happy. They need to have a permanent contract, and it is in the SACA program. Now, the biggest bottleneck of the reforms is the financing. Our heads of state said we will pay 0.2% of eligible import to the Commission. Only 17 countries, 17, are applying and abiding by that rule. It has to change. I'm not going to impose that on our leaders. It's not my intention, but I will advocate for it. It's very important to have, that particular issue of mobilizing and fostering financing be resolved immediately. Then Our experts, there is a unit in the African Union Commission called the Reform Unit, led by Mr. Makoko, a very able African expert. But there are so many reforms that have not been implemented. One of them is PAP, the Pan-African Parliament. It's still a consultative organ. When is the Pan-African Parliament will become a legislative organ? They have passed in 2014 a protocol. Only 15 countries ratified that protocol. And this is one of the major reforms that we have to implement. Then we have on the judicial sector, the Court of Justice, the Commission of Human Rights. Sometimes they are fighting on issues. The Court of Justice do not open its doors to nationals, to African citizens, to NGOs. They are complaining. I am hearing complaints about the African citizens with regard to the Court of Justice. And then they are fighting who is doing what, the Commission of Human Rights. These reforms have to be implemented. And the Bureau of Liaison, a liaison bureau, we have so many on the continent. That's double use of those bureaus. Time is running, time is flying. So we have to rationalize. How can you imagine that you have 3 bureaus in the same region? And we're saying we should have the golden rules for management. And whenever we want to touch one of the bureaus, it's a political matter. It's useless, but it's a political matter. The country that is hosting the bureau is saying, you won't touch it. It has to change. It needs leadership. It needs understanding, negotiation, but it has to change. If you want to change things, we have to be frank and outspoken. We have to be, really tough when it comes to be tough, and lean when it comes to we have to do it. We have to do it.
Senator Onyonka, through an interview that I watched in the Lynn Ngugi show, says there is no fix for Kenya Power, that is KPLC, and he says that KPLC is captured. This was a response to the question asked by Lynn Ngugi, and I'll quote verbatim. Well, Lynn Ngugi asked, "Tell me why no one has come with a fix for the KPLC." This question was prompted when Lynn Ngugi said that despite this country having so many professors in various fields, why haven't they been able to offer the solution? That is why Senator Onyonka told him there is no fix. You can't fix it. You can't fix KPLC. It is a system that is totally captured. And he said that there is more than enough electricity in Kenya Power that can be generated, but it cannot be allowed to circulate because it is for the benefit of certain individual or private companies who have captured KPLC and are using it for their own benefit. He even gave a real example whereby there are certain companies that were given licenses and tenders to see whether there was electricity in these geothermal in Olkaria, and they found that this capability of even generating more power in Olkaria, but they closed down the project. Why? If something is in excess, then the price will go down, and that is what the cartels don't want to happen. Anyway, I'm sorry for this. I'll not play the video for the interview because I fear copyright issues. As this video, I'm gonna post it in my YouTube channel. I once suffered a blow when I did upload one of them interviews from the show. So anyway, that is it. Now, going on into the sports, and to be very specific, the hosting of CHAN in Kenya that was cancelled by the CAF just the other week. Kipchumba Murkomen is still insisting that Kenya is going to host the CHAN games. Yet we can see the status of our stadiums. So he never answered when asked what are the plans he has or Kenya has for making sure that those stadiums are in good shape. Because why was it cancelled? Because they were not in the right condition, in the standards that were expected to hold the CHAN. And 2 weeks, I mean, you can't do that whole work in 2 weeks. What's wrong with this? Because we've seen even the president with his deputy splashing money in churches and all that. Yet the amount needed to complete this stadium is too little. So when politics is mixed into development, then stagnancy is the point that comes hope. Everything stagnates and there is no project that progresses. All we are doing is like the drunken man's philosophy, where we have one step forward and one step backward. So it is so disheartening that this country is being taken backwards other than being progressive. Thank you. What's your thought on this state of the nation, the state of governance in this country? Give me your thought in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing and press notification button, so anytime that we are live or upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow us for regular updates. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in DURB Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.